Welcome to Spaceverse, your portal to cosmic adventures. Once again, Earth is receiving data from the farthest man-made object, Voyager 1. But this time, it's unlike anything scientists expected. Buried in the transmission was a highly organized neutrino pattern, something Voyager 1 should be incapable of detecting. Neutrinos, nearly invisible and extremely difficult to track, require massive underground detectors. Yet, Voyager 1, floating 15 billion miles from Earth with no such equipment, somehow picked it up. Experts were stunned. The pattern wasn't random, it followed a precise, repeated structure. AI analysis revealed a complex mathematical signature, hinting at possible intentionality. NASA and CERN had expected routine plasma data. Instead, they found something that challenges the very foundations of modern physics. Where did the neutrinos come from? Why did they follow an exact pattern? And how did Voyager 1 detect them? If real, this discovery could point to a new cosmic phenomenon or something far stranger. Analysis by CERN and AI confirms the data's authenticity. The data was subjected to a battery of tests by CERN and NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory (JPL) as skeptical voices rose. Remove any potential sources of interference, such as Earth-based radio waves, cosmic rays, or solar flares from the transmission. But these explanations didn't work. It was impossible to attribute the pattern's regularity or structure to any known astronomical source. It was too structured. The inquiry reached a new level with the help of AI analysis. In order to decipher the pattern, a deep learning technique that was initially designed for deciphering radio waves from space was employed. The findings shocked the researchers. There was an underlying logic to the signal, a complicated sequence that behaved according to the exact mathematical laws of neutrino oscillations. An astronomer from the CI Institute named Dr. Miguel Fuentes explained his perspective. Pulsars, quasars, and even signals from possible alien civilizations have all been studied by our space research team. This is fresh. It clashes with every known occurrence in nature. Does this have any significance? Controversy surrounds the notion that this pattern was intentional. Things changed drastically, though, when researchers noticed that the data from the oscillations matched up with prime numbers in geometric ratio. Since prime numbers are highly unlikely to occur in nature at random, they play a significant role in theoretical attempts at extraterrestrial communication. If Voyager 1 somehow interacted with an unknown force, and that force responded in the form of a structured neutrino signal, we could be witnessing an entirely new method of interstellar communication, one that we don't yet understand, posed Professor Li Cheng, a prominent cosmologist. Scientists can't agree on anything. Some see this as a brand new, essential energy in the natural world. For some, it seems like some cosmic phenomenon yet to be uncovered. For some, the possibility that it's an intentional signal from some mysterious source is even being considered. It is evident that this is not an error. One of the most contentious scientific disputes in modern history has its roots in the final communications sent by Voyager 1. Scientists have resorted to speculations, some based on physics and others straining the limits of what is thought to be feasible in their pursuit of an easy explanation for the puzzling neutrino pattern observed by Voyager 1. Is this some new cosmic phenomenon, a previously unknown natural force, or something even more incredible? These are the most prominent hypotheses. First theory, a revolution in physics. The most intriguing theory is that Voyager 1 has found sterile neutrinos, a hypothetical particle that would fundamentally alter our view of the cosmos. Strange particles already, neutrinos. They are available in 3 distinct varieties or flavors and can change their condition as they move through space, interacting with matter very little. However, a fourth kind, the sterile neutrino, has been the subject of scientists' speculation for decades. This type would interact solely through gravity and may hold the key to unraveling the mystery of dark matter. A sterile neutrino trace detected by Voyager 1 would solve one of the greatest physics riddles and provide the first direct evidence of this elusive particle. But if multi-billion-dollar Earth labs have missed it, how might an old spaceship find it? At least not according to the scientific community. Second theory, a signal from outer space. Another theory is that Voyager may first have picked up a signal from faraway space instead of neutrinos themselves. Is there a cosmic phenomena whose hand is at work here? Pulsars and magnetars are powerful interstellar objects, and some astronomers believe they may be producing neutrino patterns that have never been observed before. This would indicate that Voyager may first have unintentionally entered the trajectory of an entirely novel kind of cosmic event. What if the signal is fake? That's a different, more contentious idea. Anarchy has ensued regarding the neutrino pattern structure, especially its mathematical exactness. According to some studies, intelligent communication is characterized by portions of the signal that seem to follow prime number sequences. As a result, some are comparing it to previous SETI searches for alien signals, even though there is currently no proof that anybody is involved from another planet. The neutrinos would be the perfect vehicle for intergalactic communication if advanced aliens were trying to reach Earth. Without any obstruction, they are able to travel past stars, planets, and even black holes. Is it possible that Voyager 1 unwittingly became the first interstellar neutrino message receiver? Final hypothesis: a defect or other factor. Instrument malfunction has, of course, been regarded by NASA engineers as the most basic reason. There is degradation in the systems of the approximately 50-year-old Voyager 1. This explanation, however, does not provide satisfactory answers and instead poses additional questions. I don't see why the signal would replicate the exact oscillation of neutrinos if it was some kind of error. For whatever reason, no other spacecraft have ever reported the same problem. Also, why is there mathematical order in the pattern rather than simply randomness? Skeptical remarks were made by Dr. Ethan Patel, a former engineer at NASA. We've seen glitches before, but this doesn't behave like one. If it were merely a random error, it wouldn't form a coherent sequence. If this isn't a mistake, then what happens next? Were we to encounter something in interstellar space that changed Voyager 1's signal in ways we don't yet comprehend? An intense conundrum. There are only hypotheses and no final answers at this time. One thing is certain though, Voyager 1 has returned one last riddle, and it has the potential to alter our view of the universe. Looking back at Voyager 1's remarkable journey, a mission that has already changed the course of history, will help us comprehend the devastating nature of its final communication. Voyager 1, which set out to discover more about the planets beyond our solar system, was launched on September 5, 1977. It provided the first up-close views of Saturn and Jupiter, solved the riddles of their moons, and showed us Titan's dense atmosphere for the first time. However, that wasn't the end of its purpose. It had gone so far by 1990 that it captured the now famous pale blue shot, which showed Earth as a mirror in the universe. Voyager 1 continued its historic streak in 2012. It broke through the solar system's protective bubble and into the vast unknown as the first man-made object to travel into interstellar space. As the power levels decreased year after year, scientists anticipated that its instruments would eventually become quiet. Nevertheless, Voyager 1 persisted in transmitting data, at least until this point. A transmission from beyond the known universe. Over the course of several years, Voyager 1 has been transmitting useful data regarding cosmic radiation, interstellar plasma, and the external solar system environment. On the other hand, the organized neutrino pattern that has puzzled scientists is contained in its most recent communication, which may be its last message before it goes silent permanently. The communication seemed ordinary at first. The instruments on board the spacecraft were operable, though with some degradation. The data was studied by experts at CERN and NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory (JPL), who discovered a pattern that looked like neutrino oscillations, a repeating sequence inside the background noise. Something that Voyager 1 just can't possibly detect. NASA initially thought it was due to a glitch in the system or corrupted data. However, the hierarchical pattern held up even after several checks and analyses with the help of AI. The behavior would be disorderly and unpredictable if there was a problem, rather than following a predetermined pattern. To top it all off, this made us wonder, what gave rise to the pattern? Had the spaceship been affected by some mysterious cosmic phenomenon? Could Voyager 1 have picked up an interstellar signal that was never intended for Earth to receive? Were we seeing its last inadvertent finding, one that would alter our cosmic perspective? At this moment, exactly what is unknown is unknown. The one thing we do know is that Voyager 1, the most distant man-made object in the universe, has sent back one more enigma before its power goes out for good. Defying the clock, the power supply of Voyager 1 is running low, therefore space agencies around the world are scrambling to examine all of the spacecraft's previous signals in the hopes of finding evidence of a similar signal. In an effort to confirm its origin, some scientists have even suggested scanning for the same oscillation pattern with neutrino detectors located on Earth. However, the clock is ticking. Voyager 1's signals will eventually go silent when its nuclear power supply is totally depleted, which should happen within the next few years. One of the biggest discoveries ever made could be in store if this pattern resurfaces, either in future cosmic surveys or in Voyager's archive data. After finding an organized neutrino pattern in the last signal from Voyager 1, scientists still don't know much. However, it is evident that this oddity necessitates additional examination. There is a global race on by astrophysicists, CERN, and NASA to find out if this was an isolated incident or part of a bigger, as yet undiscovered cosmic phenomenon. The ability of Voyager 1 to transmit new data is rapidly diminishing as its power fades. We need to find the solutions now if they are out there. Reviews of previous Voyager data. Investigating the decades worth of transmissions made by Voyager 1 is the initial stage. In order to find any previously undetected trends, scientists are currently going over all of the signals from the past. The fact that Voyager 1 has been transmitting interstellar data for more than 10 years suggests that this anomaly may have been seen earlier but disregarded. In order to determine if anything comparable has ever been detected in Voyager 2's transmissions, NASA is also working in tandem with its twin probe. The spacecraft Voyager 2 is continuing its mission, but is now heading in a different way. If it finds something even slightly similar, it would prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this isn't an error. By utilizing neutrino detectors stowed on Earth, scientists are utilizing Earth's most powerful neutrino observatories to look for signals that match Voyager 1's inability to detect neutrinos. Various projects, such as the Antarctic Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory and the Japanese Super Kamiokande, are now keeping a close eye out for neutrino activity that corresponds to the message from Voyager. It might be confirmed that this isn't an isolated spacecraft anomaly, something happening on a cosmic scale, if identical oscillation patterns are discovered from space. Expert in neutrino physics and IceCube project member Dr. Lian Xiao stated, "If we detect the same oscillation signature that Voyager 1 reported, it could mean we're witnessing an unknown neutrino source, possibly something beyond the standard model of physics." Science on a global scale. For the first time ever, many space agencies, including NASA, ESA, and CERN, have banded together to solve this enigma. To decipher the pattern and test other theories, astronomers, artificial intelligence experts, and SETI researchers are all collaborating. To top it all off, Voyager 1's time on the planet is rapidly dwindling. Its power supply is depleting, and it will cease transmission completely in a few years. Then, and only then, will we no longer have any way to solve this riddle. Quick action is required to decipher this signal. Will we be able to see this signal again? Experts in the field are currently arguing about whether this neutrino pattern is an anomaly due to unexplained space phenomena, a cosmic signal that could be detected elsewhere in the universe, or a manufactured broadcast, a notion that no one wants to admit, but that some can't shake. Incredible ramifications would follow from any genuine detection by Voyager 1. A new physical force, an occurrence in space, or even an alien intelligence could be to blame. The only thing we can do for the time being is look, evaluate, and wait. With its last transmission before its systems permanently malfunction, the most distant man-made object in the universe, Voyager 1, has transmitted one more enigma. In its most recent transmission, it caught a structured neutrino pattern, which it ought never to have detected. Could it have been a malfunction, a cosmic coincidence, or something much more significant? Many factions exist within the scientific community. This could be the first glimpse of a new fundamental force, sterile neutrinos, or another previously unseen indicator of deep space physics, according to some. Some have hypothesized that Voyager may first have picked up a signal, either from space or from some artificial source. I will not deny that this trend is not random. Just before it dies, a spacecraft that has traveled 15 billion miles from Earth has delivered an inexplicable message. How would we feel if we never found the answer to this mysterious riddle? The time available to Voyager 1 is diminishing. When its radioisotope power source finally goes dark, humanity will say goodbye to its longest-running intergalactic messenger. With no resolution in sight, this may go down in history as one of space exploration's biggest mysteries. The question is, what if the solution has not yet been found? Repeated detection of this neutrino pattern by Earth-based observatories, Voyager 2, or future far space missions could indicate that a new discovery is imminent. We may never know the answer to this mystery posed by Voyager 1 if it vanishes without a trace. Something stranger just happened in the cosmos. Voyager 1 has been expanding our knowledge of the universe for almost half a century. It has ventured into uncharted territory, returning data that has altered our perspective on space. It has left us with one last mystery in what might be its farewell communication. Is this a development in astrophysics, the beginning of a new physical theory, or something completely mysterious? The cosmos just got stranger, that much is certain. And if you're ready to follow the biggest discoveries in space, subscribe to Spaceverse, hit the bell, and stay curious.